This week's Martha's Collection feature is a beautiful velvet dress that I showed underneath last week's feature of that 1920s cape. This dress had a note attached to it saying who originally wore it, which is just so wonderful when that happens. And it says, LCN wore this blue velvet in Mildred Daunt Hagelin's wedding, December 28th, 1925. We carried pink roses. So who was LCN? She was Lois Nash Norton, born 1896, died at the age of 99 years old. Lois was Martha's husband's mother, so she was Martha's mother-in-law. At first, I wasn't able to decipher Mildred's last name, so I started looking at newspaper articles in the society pages, and from December 30th, 1925, I found the article describing the wedding and the attendants. It said the 5 other attendants wore gowns of French blue Salome velvet fashioned similar to that of Miss Daunt, and they carried butterfly roses. And just for fun, I looked up what a butterfly rose looks like, and here is an image of one in pink. So who was Mildred Daunt Hagelin? She was born in Minnesota in 1898, passed away at the age of 86 in 1984. Lois and Mildred were friends for over 50 years, and I was told by a family member that she believes that they went to Wellesley College together. With all the bridesmaids wearing the same gown, one can assume that they were made by the same dressmaker. And here you see Nash written in a label that is attached inside the dress. And then I turned it inside out underneath a strap. I found the label for the dressmaker, and it says Lind Gowns, Minneapolis. I did quite a bit of research, and I was not able to find any information directly other than looking through again, back to newspapers. There were some help wanted ads starting in 1924. And then the last thing I could find was in 1936, where they appeared to be closing their business. So here's some images of the dress inside out. And there's that kind of the strap supports under which that label was hiding. And I'm guessing those were put there to kind of support that dropped waist of the dress. So the dress does have some spots on it and whatnot, and I know some people are kind of confused or kind of disappointed at when I'm not cleaning some of these gowns and these, especially the antique ones. But if there's ever going to be any risk of me doing more harm than good to a garment, especially when they get to be of a certain age, and of silk. This is silk velvet. If there's other people that are definitely more experienced with cleaning a silk velvet 100-year-old gown, I'm definitely going to leave it for them to do that, and I'm not going to risk it. So in this case, I am just going to steam it and try to make it presentable for the photos for the listing. So I steam from the underside when possible, and then in certain cases like this, when you can't get it from the underside, I just hover the steam head above it, and look at how much better that turns out. So it's just I love the shade of this dress. And that silk velvet is just, it's luxurious. It's definitely a word to describe it. The shoulders has some hand stitching to do a little ruching. And then the dress, the bodice part of it is kind of a tank style, which was definitely a popular style in the 1920s, kind of that long tubular shape silhouette. That was very much the style in that era. It has this drop waist with the ruched gathered kind of on a rosette on the side. And again, that drape of this dress is just beautiful. The dress appears to me to have been worn more than once, but whether it was worn by Lois several times or perhaps in subsequent generations, that is unknown. But it is still a beautiful dress almost 100 years later.